simply means that the joint procedure of selection and estimation. In social sciences, it is not possible to collect data from every respondent relevant to our study, but only from some fractional part of the respondents. It also means choosing from a large population the respondents or subjects to answer your research questions. The entire population is involved, but for your research study, you only choose a part of that pool. In other words, in research, sampling is a word that refers to your method or process of selecting your respondents or any people to answer your research question. We have different kinds of sampling, and we will determine as well the different factors in selecting your sampling techniques or in selecting your samples. But first, we have terms that is related to it, which is what we call the population. See, population is the bigger group of people na pagbibigyan ninyo ng survey or pag-i-interviewin ninyo. Sino yung inyong target respondents or participants? For example, ang inyong participants ay ang mga local residents of Parañaque City. Sampling frame are the list of members of the population to which you want to generalize or apply your findings about the sample. For example, your population is the local residents in Dasmariñas. Sampling frame is the specific respondents na kinuha nyo doon sa population nyo. Doon sa ating example na local respondents or local residents in Dasmariñas City, pag pipili na kayo doon sa sampling frame, ang magiging sampling frame na ninyo, kunyari ang study ninyo ay about the development ng bread, bakers in yung kung anong specific na barangay nila. Kunyari, bakers in Paliparan 3 or bakers at Barangay Salawag and Barangay Salitran. Sampling unit refers to every individual in the population. Imbis na individual yung term na babanggitin natin for that particular respondent or participant, term na ginagamit natin ay sampling unit. Factors affecting sample selection. We have 5 factors: sample size, sampling technique, heterogeneity of population, statistical technique, and time and cost. Sa sample size, ilan yung kailangan ninyong bigyan ng survey or ilan ang kailangan ninyong interviewin. But we also need to determine ano yung mga required numbers of participants or respondents na makakapagbigay ng credible answers. And kapag kinompute siya statistically, wala siyang magiging errors. So in the next slide, meron dong mga table about sa required sample size para meron kayong idea about their numbers and ano yung percentage na margin of error. Sampling technique, ano yung procedures ng pagpili ng respondents or participants. Heterogeneity of population. Ano yung pagkakaiba ng mga population na yun? Pero dapat yung kanilang differences ay magiging related pa rin doon sa inyong study. Statistical technique, ano yung gagamitin ninyong methods in calculating or computing your data. And syempre, time and cost. Doon kinuha ninyong sample, makakapagbigay ba kayo agad ng survey in a specific time? Hindi ba siya masyadong mahal? Baka naman pumili kayo kung for example ng 5,000 participants. Siyempre, survey kayo, magkailangan pa ng mga printing yon or ano pa yung inyong mga gagastusin. Waste of time and money pa siya. Kaya kasama din yung sa factors in selecting your sample. For the sample size table, so we have here the required sample size table from the research advisors. We have population size dito sa gilid, and we have 2 columns. Yung columns na yan, how confident are you na yung inyong data ay reliable? So, ang minimum na acceptable ay 95% confidence level and 99% confidence level. Margin of error, yan yung i-determine na yung degree of error in results received from random sampling survey. Yung higher margin of error in statistics indicates less likelihood of relying on the results of the survey. Yung margin of error percentage na yan is very vital tool. Also, sa mga market research, kasi it depicts yung confidence level the researcher should have in the data obtained from the survey. For example, yung ibinigay sa inyo na target respondents ay 100, you should have at least 80 response from your survey na walang errors. 5% lang ang acceptable na may errors when we are using the confidence level of 95%. Pag kinompute na siya statistically or kinompute na siya kung meron kayo statisticians. We also have sampling techniques or ang tawag din sa kanya ay sampling methods. The probability sampling is based on pure chance or mga random selections ng participants para mabigyan lahat ng mga nasa population na equal opportunity na makapagsagot ng research instrument, survey man yun or ng interview. Si non-probability sampling, the participants are not chosen randomly but purposefully. Dun sa bigger group ninyo sa population or yung population, mamimili lang kayo doon ng specific, for example, occupation. Sila ba ay mga nutritionist? Hanap kayo doon sa population na yun na napili ninyo for your study. Ano yung kailangan ninyong specific occupation? Meron ba kayong specific experts na kailangan na bigyan ng survey or kailangan na interviewin? Kay probability sampling, we have 4. Ang first ay simple random sampling. Second is systematic sampling, stratified sampling, at cluster sampling. Simple random sampling, considered siya as the best type of probability sampling kasi meron siyang dalawang methods na ginagawa or standard methods para makapili sila ng kanilang samples. Pero by pure chance, yung magiging selection doon sa mga member. Yung unang method for the simple random sampling is you have to list all the members of the population. You could write their name on a card and choose a card through a pure chance selection. And yung second, you could also have a list of all the members, give a number to that member, and then use randomized or unordered numbers in selecting names from the list. See, systematic sampling, chance and systems are the ones to determine who should compose the sample. For instance, if you want to have a sample of 150, you may select a set of numbers like 1 to 15, and out of a list of 1,500 students, you will take every 15th name on the list until you complete the total number of respondents to constitute your sample. In the stratified sampling, the group comprising the sample is chosen in a way that such group is liable to subdivision during the data analysis stage. A study needing group by group analysis finds stratified sampling the right probability sampling to use. So after yun na siyang mag-gather yung mga data, saka pa lang siya magkakaroon ng mga subdivision or saka siya magiging subdivided. Cluster sampling makes you isolate a set of person instead of individual members na sila yung mag-serve as your sample or respondents. Set of person or group of person yung inyong pipiliin. For example, if you want to have a sample of 120 out of 1,000 students, you can randomly select 3 sections with 40 students each to constitute your sample. For the non-probability sampling, we have first type, which is Kota Sampling. You resort to Kota Sampling when you think you know the characteristics of the target population very well. In this case, you tend to choose the sample members possessing or indicating the characteristics of the target persons. And it will show you that the chosen sample or respondents represents your target population with regards to those characteristics. Ano yung mga characteristics na yun? Kunyari, kailangan expert sila in terms of food or particular food or particular beverage, or sila ay mga experts about the nutritions na pwedeng makuha doon sa pagkain na inyong dinedevelop, or sila ay kunyari mga chef or mga bakers kasi ang inyong i-develop ay bread. For the number 2 voluntary sampling, since the subject you expect to participate in the sample selection are the ones volunteering to constitute the sample, there is no need for you to do any selection process. Kadalasan na ginagawa si voluntary sampling pag ginagawa niya yung mga online survey. Kasi pwedeng mag-post na sila researchers, kunyari sa isang group, na ito yung kanilang magiging survey, tapos meron doon mga qualifications ng mga pwedeng magsagot, and then kay participant na lang na decision kung gusto niyang sagutan yon. Kung makikita niya yung nakapost na yon sa social media or sa internet. Purposive sampling or judgmental sampling. In this sampling, you will choose people whom you are sure could correspond to the objectives of your study, like selecting those with rich experience or interest in your study. Hindi yung mga experts noon sa inyong mga research. Kayo na yung mamimili. Hindi na siya randomized. Availability sampling are selecting a sample from the population because it is accessible. Individuals are selected for the research not because they meet some statistical criteria, but because they are readily available from the title itself or from the name itself. That convenience usually translates to easy operation and low sampling cost. The fifth type of non-probability sampling is snowball sampling. Snowball sampling is also called the chain referral sampling, in which your sample have traits that are rare to find. And this sampling technique in which existing subjects provide referrals to recruit samples required for a research study. For example, if you are studying the level of customer satisfaction among the members of an elite country club, you will find it extremely difficult to collect primary data sources unless a member of the club agrees to have a direct conversation with you and provide as well the contact details of the other members of the club. So si snowball sampling then is a popular business study method. Referrals yung nangyayari kay snowball sampling.